Yo, what's up everybody? Today we're going to be doing some more Umineko stuff. And, yeah, my god. Today we are in for some really interesting stuff. I can't really play for that long, but still, I am so excited because we've just seen, we've really seen quite a shocking outcome of the plot. Basically what's happened is a lot of people have died, and my god, I will never forget what we read yesterday. I mean, Jesus. The severe emotion. Oh my god, Golden Slaughterer as well. That song is so good. I can't wait for Umineko solely because I really want to see that song in, other situations. But yeah, it's going to be really quite interesting just to see what's going to happen today and how everything's going to change, really. I don't know what's going to happen. I hope we see Beatrice because I'm really interested in seeing, like, whether she exists or not and who she is, and I don't know what the fuck she's doing, stuff like that. A different lock. Oh yeah, so this is the part about them discovering that, well, not really discovering, but thinking about replacing the lock. Yes, when we came here, the shutter was locked. That means the copper used the key to, the shutter to lock it. Yeah. Oh, that's actually really quite surprising. Oh, that makes sense. So, does that mean the key that opens this shutter will have the culprit's fingerprints on it? Yeah, I really wonder. I'm sure it would be worth submitting it to the police just as evidence, but Kanon-kun usually has it, and he has used it to unlock the shed just now. Oh yeah, that does look bad. Yeah, it will probably have Kanon-kun's fingerprints on it. Oh god. Yeah, that is bad. Also, that key was handed to Genji-san just now, and he took it with his bare hands. Yeah, it doesn't look like it will be very useful as evidence. Yeah, that was careless of me. It's fair. My apologies. Genji-san. Genji-san. Are there any other keys to this storehouse? No. Oh, that's really inconvenient. Only this one. But at the same time, only that key. That's really surprising. So the culprit walked out of the servant room with that key. Yeah, it doesn't really make much sense at all. And if anything, I don't really understand how they were actually able to get a key that was, locked in the servant's room. I can't think of any servant who would do it. Look, I think out of all of the people, Gorda, to be honest, would be the most likely person of doing it. And let's think about this logically. If somebody does actually do a murder as severe as this, the fact that, the chances of them doing suicide, it isn't really that low, if you ask me. Oh, that's interesting. Hideyoshi's theory sounded plausible, but was actually very strange once you thought about it. Why would they go through all the trouble of returning a key they stole? I agree, but to be fair, to make it look like it's never been stolen and to never give away the location of where the murdered people may be. No, if you think about it even more deeply, there are some points that are even more bizarre. When a criminal hides a body, they're usually trying to delay the point at which it will be found so they can use that time to escape. Yeah, it's interesting. Yeah, the 6 weren't necessarily killed here. They were, yeah, true actually, yeah. But it was reasonable to assume that they were killed somewhere on this island, carried to the storehouse and hidden to delay the discovery of the crime. Yeah, that is actually really quite weird. And yet the eerie magic circle scribbled on the storehouse shutter. Exactly, yeah, had eloquently indicated the location of the hidden corpses. It really doesn't make sense to why nothing was there in Natsuhi's, bedroom. Why was that thing written on her room, or her bedroom her bedroom door? Doesn't really make much sense. In that situation, somebody had made such an obvious piece of graffiti and even returned to the key to the shutter. Yeah, almost as though they wanted the corpse to be discovered. But at the same time, then you've got to think, like, what will somebody gain from the corpses being discovered? Are they trying to frame someone, potentially? Who knows? Yeah, definitely. Anyway, we can't put all our faith in a lock that the culprit has opened once before. Yeah, that's reasonable, yeah. If we want to protect this place from the culprit's hand, I think we should place a new lock on it. But at the same time, if this culprit may be a good one, who knows? Maybe they would actually be able to... Well, when I say good, I don't mean good as in the personality, but I mean in what they do. Maybe they'll be able to get another one. Who knows? It is weird. Like, why would you do that? Yeah, no, I agree. I think that is a good plan. I agree. Genji fizzed around inside the storehouse and unsealed a brand new padlock that had been inside with some what? Yeah, that's good. What should I do with the key? I will take it. To be fair, she probably should, because she is the person that organises all of the household responsibilities. I will take responsibility and hand it over to the police. Natsuki took the key to the padlock from Genji's hand. God, it really is quite a bold move doing that. Fearless. After that, they all exited and lowered the shutter. And so, the corpses were once again sealed behind that shutter, which was still covered with that creepy magic circle. Yeah, that is... Yeah, Genji crouched down in front of the shutter to fasten the new padlock. Yeah, nice one. Shutters often have a place in front where you can attach your own lock. Oh, well, I'm happy they said that, because I've never actually seen where a lock would go. But I'm assuming the lock goes here. I don't know, though. Where you can attach your own lock, in addition to the main lock of the shutter. This is one of those types. In the midst of the roar of the thunder and the pouring rain, the storehouse stood there ominously, yeah, with its closed shutter and still covered in a blood-like, creepy substance. Jesus Christ, I know. It swallowed up the bodies of 6. Yeah. God. It's Natsuki. Putting the new lock on wasn't mainly to preserve the scene for the police. She might have felt like she wanted to shut that mouth for all the time. Oh, yeah, fair enough. Yeah. To prevent that eerie beast from swallowing up any more victims. Yeah, that is fair enough, actually, yeah, because I suppose if this is totally shut and it's locked and, you know, it's supported by a key that the potential criminal may have no access to, then, yeah. It will prevent it, I'd hope. Come on, let's go, everyone. Dr. Nanjo, thank you very much for your work. God, I feel so bad for her. Genji, hurry and contact her. It's so impressive. I mean, this person has literally lost her husband, and yet she can still have the rationality to totally command this. It's really impressive. Yeah, good one. I will do so as soon as I return. The adults left the storehouse. Yeah. Oh, yeah, the ghastly magic circle drawn on the shutter kept the 6 bodies in its throat. Yeah, it is actually really quite interesting to think the shutter is like a mouth. And like a mouth, it does open and close as well. Looming eerily as the lightning occasionally lit it up. Yeah, that is creepy, yeah. Oh, God. Yeah. Oh. Was not what I was expecting. Right! Oh my God. I really wonder what's actually going to happen next. I have no idea. That's the nice thing about this. I have absolutely no idea what's going to happen next. Right, where are we? Looks like we're going inside the house. Oh my God, right, what's going to happen now? All that could be heard was the sound of the rain. The voices from the kids' TV program Maria was watching. Oh, yeah, and the engrossed Maria's crackling voice. Yeah, a cackling voice. In other words, what greeted them as they returned, dumbfounded from that horrible, bizarre scene, it was somebody totally. I know. Was the voice of Maria. She rolled around laughing at the TV. Yeah. Those who returned to the room didn't know. I know. Those who returned to that room didn't know how to explain to Maria that her mother was dead and were trapped by suffocating silence. God. Yeah, that is awful. Yeah, I really wonder how they're going to do it. Maybe they're not going to tell her, I don't know. God, it's just so horrible to see. Yeah, of course they just put into detail how happy she was. At first, Maria returned their stares with a dubious look, but when she realised they weren't trying to blame her for anything, she ignored them and immediately again immersed herself in the TV programme. Yeah, the children wordlessly sat down heavily on the sofa. Oh my god, I know. Definitely, yeah. Their minds are probably blank from their state of shock. Yeah. Everyone had already cried and mourned so much, but now they just vaguely sat there. Yeah, that's not surprising. Their faces seem to have lost all yeah, god, that's awful. I'm very surprised about that. Only Canon had returned to his usual calm expression. Oh, yeah, definitely. However, that probably didn't mean he'd be able to wipe out the shock. Nothing was reflected in his eyes as he stared at... Yeah, that's awful. So I'm assuming what's actually happened as a result of, you know, seeing the most horrific sights of people that they might have loved. Well, everyone loved a person that was there. And they had, you know, relationships as family to the other people that... Oh, God. Yeah, of course. They're probably just so traumatised by that horrible sight of their faces being completely smashed in that... Yeah. Hideyoshi kept on fidgeting, and every time he remembered that horrible... Oh, God. Yeah, fair. He started muttering how he couldn't believe it, how it couldn't have been the work of something from this world. Interesting that, how it must have been the work of demons. Who is a human and would do that? That isn't a psychopath, like, genuinely. Every now and then his mutterings produced a question directed at Nanjo. But the latter kept repeating in a calm, doctor-like manner that nothing could be understood by only glancing at the scene. And that until the police arrived, they wouldn't learn any... Oh, true. Yeah. God, yeah. However, Nanjo only appeared calm next to Hideyoshi. Oh, yeah. Yeah, understandable, yeah. Who simply couldn't suppress his agitation and fear. In fact, Nanjo had also received a huge shock, and his face was deathly pale. Yeah. Oh, God, I wonder what Natsuki's actually done. Maybe that atmosphere was why she tried to rise to the challenge and take charge. I can't believe she... What? Natsuki appeared to be unchanged from her normal attitude. And she briskly gave directions. Yeah, good one. Yeah, I'll go see father. Yeah, Genji, quickly contact the police. It is interesting that she's totally unchanged. I mean, I would never believe that she has any involvement in this, but at the same time, it's just really quite surprising. But, I mean, to be honest, I kind of get the impression that Natsuki only married because she... I don't know, I mean... Obviously, she has the act of... She has such a devotion to her family, but I kind of get the feeling she started that family just because she kind of had to, and it was her... It was her best option, really. What I'm trying to say here, like... Firstly, we saw how detached Kraus was from her, and we also saw how... well, I suppose how much she really was mad at it, and the insight to her thoughts as well really provided me with evidence, at least, that... You know, she doesn't really like where she is. So what I'm trying to say is she probably wouldn't be phased enough. But still, though, you would have thought, despite that, she still lost her husband. I mean, yeah, they've been married for over, like, 20 years at this point, probably. I wonder if you would allow me to tag along, Natsuki-san. Yeah. Yeah, of course he's thinking in the line of power. Since Kraus Nissan is now gone, the task of aiding father has been left to me. I love that she can still sound like she's enjoying it and sound in a sort of light-hearted way, even though 6 people have fucking died. It would be improper for me to relax here whilst relying entirely on you. Natsuhi was struck speechless by Eva's aggressive move and I know, how low could you get? She seemed to be claiming that with Kraus dead, the one to take responsibility shouldn't be as well. Yeah, but herself, the next highly ranked in the family. Or maybe she hadn't been at all happy when Natsuhi took command without reference to her in such an extreme situation. Oh yeah, fair enough. Yeah. Jealousy. And a desire to, you know, put Natsuhi down. However, even Eva's mind had been blank from shock until a moment. That's actually really surprising. She only came to her senses after Natsuhi started giving orders. Oh right, yeah, fair. Just do as you like. Damn! Natsuhi just started walking without saying a word more. Eva followed behind her. Yeah. Oh, as they did, Kumasawa ran into the... Oh my god, another person who doesn't know the news. She usually wasn't the kind of person to run around, so under normal conditions, most people would have taken her interest as a sign that something was the matter. Oh no! Yeah, fair, but because everyone was still stricken with shock, they hardly even noticed her. That's actually really quite surprising that... Yeah, that's fair, yeah. Yeah. Madam. Wait, what? You have got to be kidding me. Has something that is different happened? Yeah, if you're looking for Natsuhi Nesan, she went to see father. She'll probably be back soon. What happened, Kumasawa-san? Oh no. You see... What? What? Okay. Is it me or this is just making less and less sense? Who the hell? You see, in the dining hall there was blood. The ears of everyone in the parlour twitched. Oh my god, I know! Everyone thought the same thing. Yeah, who has died? Yeah, but that too, yeah, I hope I misheard that. Yeah. Any container can only hold so much. And no one here would be capable of handling yet another... Oh my god, I know. Yeah, so they all thought it. I hope I misheard that. Yes, definitely, but I think it is pretty hard. The fact that she's here, she comes running around. Emergency! Definitely by the tone of her voice that is denoted. Sadly, this is real. It's brutal, but it is real. That is a nice drink. I don't think I've ever tried a nice peach flavoured fizzy drink before. Wow. Yeah, what happened? In the dining hall. When I went to the dining hall. Set up for breakfast. Jesus, she is properly shaking. Oh god, so it's something that has been so awful that, you know, it could potentially be really quite, you know, just a shock, maybe even a little bit traumatic. God, what is it? Yeah, the first one to start running was George. His harsh footsteps jogged Hideyoshi and Nanjo to their senses. Yeah, and they chased after. Yeah, fair, yeah. Battle and the others followed. I wonder what Maria's doing. Oh, what? They flew into the dining hall one after another, but they didn't find any change that might have caused Kumasawa to go pale. To those who had viewed that gruesome scene in the store, Oh my god, fair. Yeah, that gruesome scene in the storehouse, it was a bit of an anticlimax. However, Kumasawa, who had followed them, pointed it out. They're on the floor? That is weird. There really were some traces on the blood remaining on the floor. Who could have died though, or potentially been harmed though? It just doesn't really make sense. But that's likewise to the blood that was found on the doorknob of Natsuhi's room. Doesn't really make sense why it was there either. Compared to that terrible scene, it wasn't very impressive. However, if you calmly thought about it, this definitely indicated the loss of a lot of blood. Oh no. A puddle of blood, Jesus Christ. Maybe this is where everyone could have been murdered. I don't know, but that could be possible. Could you imagine if, wait, hang on a second, that wouldn't actually be reasonable, because if I remember correctly, wait, no, I think this could in theory be a possible guess. Maybe, all of the people in the family conference, because funnily enough, everyone in the family conference apart from, yep, I've just disproved myself, Eva was in the family conference, so if everyone was getting murdered there, why didn't she see it? There was some opportunity that made it so that they all left, and obviously Eva stayed. I wonder what it was. There's another puddle of blood over here. What in the world? That is weird. Interesting. It appears that a great deal of time has passed. It's probably safe to say they were killed here last night. What? I wonder who did this. It definitely looks that way. Yeah, we were talking together in the dining hall until late into the night. Yeah, after that somebody must have forced their way in. Doesn't make any sense. Yeah, good question. Dad, when did you and Mum slip out of the meeting and go to sleep? It was a little past midnight. So we should probably assume. Yeah, it happened after, yeah! Yeah, now that does actually make sense. They could have potentially done a mass killing and then moved all the bodies to the, you know, house, to the mansion. But at the same, storehouse, sorry. But it doesn't really explain the fact that, you know, these bodies that have been murdered haven't been seen. Like, genuinely. It's so weird. Are you kidding me? Yeah, give me a... Oh my god, I know. Yeah. Why wasn't Natsuhi killed? Well, because she probably bailed out early because of her really bad headache and also just constant abuse. And why would she want to talk with Kraus either? As well, even. Not either. Interesting that there are puddles of blood here and, you know, signs of significant blood loss. Yeah, my god, yeah, my lady, please stay strong. What's he laughing at? Yeah, got it. Nobody should ever be able to think that, but he does. After seeing that hell on earth in the storehouse, this is nothing. God. Really, good for you. Yeah, no, I don't blame her whatsoever. I feel like my head's going to explode. This is the dining hall, right? Every day, this is where I'd eat, complain about school, complain about homework. Oh god, talk to my dad about my grades. That's all this place is to me. Yeah, it's just... It's so sad to think, you know, she has so many memories of everything here. Everyone does, it's completely defined their lives, and now everyone who made those memories what they were, really, has... Nearly everyone has died. Yeah, no, I don't disagree. Yeah, it wouldn't be good to remain here any longer. I mean, if she has such a bad headache and she is probably nauseated as well. Yeah, it's not a good idea. Yeah, let's return to the pilot. Yeah, good move. I agree. Oh yeah, it must be unpleasant. I mean, after seeing something like that, even though Battler says it's nothing, he's probably a little bit desensitized. It's still not a good sight. Hideyoshi's uncle. Oh yeah, understandable. Yeah, I think this one will be really important to the police. Yeah, don't you think it'd be bad if we trampled all over it? Butler proposed this in a slightly firm voice, as, along with Kanon, he grabbed the pail. Oh my god. Yeah, that is properly rough. God. Yeah, everything is just as Butler said. Yeah, there is nothing more to be gained from remaining in this room. Nanjor spoke while looking at everyone's pale faces. Yeah, even though that horrible scene in the storehouse felt like something not of this world. Yeah, understandable actually, but this is totally in the midst of everything. Yeah, at least then we'd been able to leave, to cut ourselves off from that place and run away. Yeah, everyone had shared in that feeling. Yeah, definitely. For fuck's sake. I've got to play without earphones today. It's annoying. For fuck's sake, man. This pisses me off so badly. It's just how much it disrupts the flow of the story, really. Fuck this, man. I'm too tired to be worrying about shit like this. Hang on. Right, I'm back now. God, so fucking irritating. Right. Oh, please don't tell me I'm gonna get, like, my wires being dickheads. Oh, I really hope not. It's just, like, the last thing I could be dealing with right now. I want to deal with right now. Oh, God. No, mate. It's really weird. Sometimes my earphone just falls out of my ear. It's really weird. It just never... it's sort of in a fixed position. Yeah. There we are. It's better now, but still. No, actually, it's not. Yeah, there we are. Nope, there we aren't. No. Right, oh, this is not gonna... It's not gonna go away. I might as well just bear with it. I'm just gonna have to stay still, which is impossible for me. Yeah, definitely, yeah. However, this dining hall was different. Oh, yeah. Fucking idiot, I've already read this. Oh, I haven't read this, what? Oh yeah, definitely. It should be one of the most calming and reassuring as well places. But no, it isn't. Because this is what's happening. I mean, God, it's awful. It really is. The one place of refuge is now... Yeah, not very... Well, you couldn't really describe it like that now. Yeah. The shock of seeing this place smeared with blood reminded us of that horrible spectacle in the storehouse. Oh, yeah, definitely, yeah. Weird stuff. And forced us to accept that we hadn't really been able to run away from the scene of that tragedy. Oh my God, I know. Yeah. It's really awful because the thing is, whenever you see a really traumatic event like that, you want to limit exposure so much, but you can't really if, you know, the one place you'd relax in is one of the most commonly relaxed places. Well, relaxed in places, I suppose. Has this smeared with blood. I agree too. Yeah, maybe. Maybe that's actually a really good point. Maybe they should look. Yeah. The culprit might have left traces in this room. Amateurs like us shouldn't stir the place up. Let's leave quickly. Quickly. Hideyoshi also understood the meaning of what Batara had said and pushed everyone to hurry out of the dining hall. The way we were then, looking at that blood any longer would have been too agreed. Yeah, they should get out. Nobody went against this one. Yeah, good one. Yeah. Everyone raced each other out of the dining hall. Yeah. It was almost as though the last person in the room would be trapped in there. All alone. I mean, to be fair, they would be only trapped in there for, you know, a very temporary amount of time, i.e. like a millisecond, but yeah, still. Maybe a few, maybe 0.5 seconds. 1 second, 2 seconds, I don't know. Not much time whatsoever. But yeah, if somebody was there alone, I mean, it's such a big room with nobody there, of course. And I suppose, if I was in a room and there were loads of seats, the impression that loads of people should be there, and yet I was alone, and I was forced to be alone in there for the entirety, I think that would make it a lot worse. Once in the hallway, we lent a hand to Kumasawa, who was still, oh god, who was still trembling and leaning against the wall, and we all headed back to the parlour together. Yeah, nice one. Yeah. Then Genji returned. Oh, that's going to be interesting, yeah. Oh, Genji-san. Were you able to contact the police? What? But you literally used a specialist radio. As to that, I'm afraid I must apologise. A very long pause. Oh, weird. That's weird. I don't know if it was a failure of the radio or something else that caused it, but... What? Oh no. That's actually really quite surprising. So even the radio that's specialised for, you know, I suppose radio wave communication from other people. Yeah, even that doesn't work. That's ridiculous. What the? So you couldn't contact the police? Yeah, both the phone and the radio. That's absurd. That's such bad luck though, because obviously it having thundered results in, well, I suppose the lines being unable to, well, being damaged, unable to make current flow. A boat will be arriving on Monday morning. Yeah, and I believe we will be able to borrow their communications equipment. Yeah, good one. Good one. Isn't there a boat on this island? Is there not? Oh! Can't we just take a little trip out to the Nijima Police Department? Yeah. True. Hideyoshi-san, that would be impossible with this weather. Yeah, at the very least, we can't do anything until this typhoon passes us, but fair. That's really problematic. Kurasama's boat is being repaired and is not on the island. Of course he has a boat, by the way. Therefore, we must wait for the boat coming on Monday. Yeah, I do find it really quite interesting that, like, this situation is just the worst possible. Like, firstly, no police. Secondly, no boat. Thirdly, no... well, I suppose no means of communication whatsoever. And no means of escape, the most important one. Yeah... How could this happen? Oh my god, yeah, fair, but the only thing is they have to actually look at their precautions because they don't want to make it any more people. 6 people are dead. I know, it's such bad luck, like genuinely. The phones and radio aren't working and there's no boat. Why is the radio working though? It doesn't really make sense. Like, I thought that radio was specialised to receive signals from people. If nothing else was able to work. Oh god, no, I know. They are really in the most danger. So until the typhoon passes and the boat comes... yeah. In other words, until tomorrow morning, we're going to be stuck here on this island, unable to contact the police. Yeah. Which means that not just us. Fair enough, actually, to be fair. This probably would be the best time to confront the criminal, but at the same time, who is the criminal? That certainly follows. Yeah, the culprit who killed everyone is still here on this island. Exactly, yeah. Maybe they're here. Yeah, I really wonder. God, I hope she can. Jesus! God. Yeah. So hang on a second. She's gonna hand him over to the police, but before he actually hands him over to the police, she's going to totally slice him to bits. That doesn't really make much sense, but okay. But obviously she's thinking irrationally. Of course she would, and in a state like this. That's horrible. Yeah. I do find it really quite interesting what's actually happened. I wonder, I just wonder who's responsible, seriously. God. Oh no! Oh, to be honest, I feel that they're either going to lie or they're going to tell her. I don't know what's going to happen, but yeah, Maria had finally realised that something odd was happening in the parlour. To be honest, she needs to know. It's also relevant, so yeah, this may pose risk on her if she doesn't know. Rather than noticing something odd, it was probably better to say she felt unhappy and neglected, since everyone was getting so excited about something only she didn't know about. Oh, God. Jessica-o-ne-chan. Well, God, that is a very roundabout... Well, that is a very straight to the point way of asking. Yeah, Jessica-o-ne-chan, did someone die? I know! The way she spoke was completely... That's really contradictory to what I thought Maria would have normally done. What? Was completely calm. Just as though she was talking about somebody who had appeared on a television drama. Oh my God, I know! As though it was someone else's problem. Yeah, Jessica... Oh no, I know. Who would? Yeah, Jessica probably didn't like that. As though trying to say, can't you tell just by looking at me? Overwhelmed with grief. She flared up at Maria. Yeah, they all died. Everyone. My dad and Butler's parents. Koda-san and Shannon. Oh. Oh no, this... I really don't know what's going to happen now, but I'm dreading it. Stop it, Jessica-chan. Yeah, you aren't the only one who's... Everyone is, genuinely. Maria-san. Yeah, I think it's really, really good that the doctor is going to say it. Yeah, I know this will come as a shock, but please listen. Your mother has died. Mama died? Okay. I don't really think that's how you react when you just hear your mother's died. What?! I would have thought the second she heard that, she would be totally upset. I'm really quite surprised. Yeah, somebody killed her. Yeah. I know it's sad, but stay strong. How many people died? 6 people. 6 people. Oh my God, I know. How could anyone do something that... Exactly. Yeah. That's the sad thing, it isn't. There really isn't. Yeah, there's a limit to how cruel you can be if you're human. Yeah. Yeah, that's actually really quite interesting. She thinks the culprit isn't human just because of what's happened is so cruel that it could never have been the work of a human. I'm just disappointed about Maria though. Like, you've just learned that your mum's died and then you're asking, like, how many died? You're not even showing any remote signs of upset. You're not... What sense does it make? Yeah, that's interesting. That there's nowhere their blood is red. Ew. You don't sound very sad about the fact that your mother's just... What the fuck? The culprit isn't human. What? It's just the something chosen by the something. Huh?
Wait, Maria.
Hey, Maria.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's interesting that it wasn't actually heard. Did you say something just now? Maria had just said something. Yeah, but since the words were so remotely separated from the flow and content of the conversation... Yeah, I couldn't understand them for a second. Fair. When I tried to ask her to repeat it again... What? No, don't tell me there's more. I was shocked by the sudden sound of Aunt Nutty's loud voice, coming from the entrance to the parlour. It looked like Aunt Nutty and Aunt Eva had returned from their trip to see grandfather. Oh, so they don't actually have any new news. You can't contact that, even with the radio. Yeah, I know! Yeah, if we can't use it at a time like this, why do we even have an emergency radio? My apologies. Oh. We're supposed to have a maintenance inspection every year. We don't you have one of those smoke signaling devices that makes a flashing light? Ooh! Couldn't you use that to contact the next island? Oh, yeah. I don't really see why they would, to be fair, but... Yeah, that is a problem. We do not have such equipment. My sincere apology. God, their lack of equipment at the moment. I mean, yeah, they... Everything has failed them, genuinely. God, I really wonder what Maria actually said. Why is she so confident that the culprit isn't human, by the way? It's interesting, that. Oh, God. Oh. Oh, that's nice. That, you know, no matter how hard times are for her, she still makes breakfast. Just then, Kumasawa arrived, pushing a serving cart loaded with breakfast. Since there was no way we'd be able to eat in the dining hall. Oh, yeah, definitely. Yeah, Hideyoshi had ordered her to take it to the parlour. Yeah, fair. Why are we eating breakfast here? Well. Oh. Alright, well, Natsuki-san, I'll tell you later. Yeah, more importantly ever, how was father? Oh, yeah, but he would never accept, you know, a proposal to come down with for anyone, judging by the fact he is not with you. It's unbelievable, that. But at the same time, he genuinely doesn't care if anybody's killed. He really doesn't. I wonder if he's really sociopathic. It's kind of hard to tell, though. He is, and yet he isn't, I feel. It seems he will not leave his room, not even for a situation. It's unbelievable. What? He wasn't there. Interesting theme. What the? Exactly, yeah. Where could he have gone at a time like this?
書斎を出られたというのですか?
Why? There is no way that the master would have the physical ability to commit the murders. I cannot ever think that he has done them. To be fair though, if he has left the study, maybe he was the one behind the letter. It's kind of hard to tell that. How would he do a Beatrice cosplay and literally look like Beatrice? That doesn't make sense. And sound like Beatrice de Maria. Odd music. Why is he not there though? That's really weird. That is great. I was surprised myself. Me too, yeah. I wonder where he left this room. Natsuki looked at Genji and Kanon as she said that. Yeah. Maybe she was trying to ask whether the servants who served directly under the one-winged eagle knew of a place he might go. Oh yeah, I wonder. However, it was probably the other way around. Their faces made it clear that those who knew Kinzo best relied even more than the rest. Realised even more than the rest how impossible it was for him to leave his room. I mean, the proper hikikomori. Holy fuck. Yeah. That is weird. It's just funny, like, he is so isolated that it's impossible for him to leave his room. Jesus Christ. Or a really rare occurrence. Yeah! That is weird. Yeah, you know it is something personal when even they don't have an idea. Even we have no idea.
ご存知の通り、親方様はあの書斎の中に、お休みの場所からご不条まで全てを設けさせました。
As you all know, within that study, the master had everything from a place to sleep to a bathroom. Wow.
親方様があの部屋をお出になることなど、
Yeah, I couldn't imagine him leaving that room. Except for a significant reason. Getting vitamin D, maybe? That's really quite surprising. A bathroom in your own study. God. In that case, what? Isn't it natural to assume that one of those significant reasons came up? This is going to look really bad for Natsuhi as well. If they think that maybe he's been murdered, then she's going to be the first on the list because she was actually given the key from Genji. Or it could be Genji as well, but I don't know. Yeah, I really wonder what the significant reason was. We cannot still be certain that's the case. Maybe, but if it's rare for him to leave his study, then I don't really think this is going to happen. Especially when everybody's here. Oh, yes, definitely, yeah. If that is the case, then we must act in haste. In all haste to tell him what has happened and ask for instructions. Yeah, definitely. That's right. Yeah, I mean, yeah, although I don't want to think about it, it's possible that something has happened to him, isn't it? I agree. Maybe. Yeah, I'd rather not even consider such a sinister possibility. And that is understandable, but at the same time, why is he not in his study? That's the only question you need to ask. Yeah, that is interesting. Nobody has seen Kinzo since the discovery of those 6 terrible corpses. On top of that, the phones were broken, the radio wouldn't reach anyone, and there was no way to contact the Yeah, exactly. Apparently the typhoon would leave tomorrow and a boat would come. Yeah. But until then, nobody could rely on anyone outside of the island, nor could they escape the... Yeah. The tragedy had hit everyone so abruptly that they'd lost all their... Agreed, yeah. Yeah, that must be awful now, because obviously they're going to have to not only deal with it, but they're going to have to, you know, make it so that they are the people that are protecting themselves, really. Everyone felt a heavy silence. Everyone was impatient. Fair. Even though they needed to do something, they couldn't think of anything. Yeah, that is awful. Yeah. Yeah, fair. So others held their heads in their arms while others got irritated. Yeah, fair. Right now, nobody could explain what was occurring on this island. Not Genjima. Maria. I think Maria's the only person that could have some remote idea. She has seen Beatrice. That is if she exists, though. What's this going to be? Yeah, understandable, yeah. After that, we ate the breakfast Kumasawa-san had made, which felt dry and tasteless. Of course, this was right after something like that. Yeah, I'm sure it would be really quite nice if it was not the case. Nobody felt particularly hungry. Yeah, fair. Oh, yeah, we understood logically that not eating we're weaken our bodies, and especially in a day like this, you do not need a weak body to be worrying about. Yeah. Weak, not a weak body, but a weakened body. Yeah, that is really tricky though. Genuinely. That is so weird about the father not being there. I just don't get whatsoever what's actually happened. It would also be rude to Kumasa. Agreed. Yeah, she's actually gone through the trouble to making the breakfast. They might as well eat it. It would also be rude to Kumasawa-san, who had made the breakfast. Yeah, Kumasawa-san had taken some unusual Western vegetables. Ones that Goda-san had probably ordered for this ultra elaborate... Isn't it just sad to think that he's never going to be able to cook anything ever again because he's bloody dead? Yeah, for his ultra elaborate meals and cook them in a Japanese style. That's actually really quite cool. Which made them turn... an unpleasant colour. Oh god. Were they nice or what? Well, they said they were dry and tasteless, but that's obviously because they are really quite emotionally shocked. I wonder if they wouldn't. Would they enjoy it? Who knows? It's kind of hard to tell. As to what Goda-san had been planning to cook with those ingredients. Yeah, right then I couldn't even imagine it. But it's Goda, of course it's going to be nearly perfect. If I did think about it, I'd be... Yeah, I'll be reminded of the way Goda-san died in a sour taste of feel on the inside of my mouth. Yeah, everyone pretended to eat for the time being, but of course, no one made... Yeah, fair, yeah. Then we began pooling our knowledge of our current situation. First off, 6 people, which included Uncle Kraus, my dad... Oh, God, yeah, Kirie-san, Aunt Rosa, Goda-san, and Shannon-chan have been found in the Rose Garden storehouse just brutally murdered. Yeah. I find it really quite awful that you can't even think about anything related to, you know, what the people died have done. Like, any associations with these people, you just remember how they died, obviously, because it's the most shocking and, I suppose, most relevant thing at the moment. Like, if you remember somebody, like, you're going to need to remember that they're dead or alive, I suppose. I don't know, though. Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Brutally mutilated. Good choice of words, I agree. And yet, we still couldn't contact the police since both the phones and the radio were unusable. Yeah. So until the typhoon passed, there was nothing we could do. Yeah, it's tricky, that. Yeah! Furthermore, grandfather, who we might have hoped would be able to show a little leadership in this kind of situation, had disappeared some time ago. Yeah, he's dipped. Not very useful. And Goda-san hadn't made breakfast, so grandfather's stomach must have been empty. Yeah, that is fair. And if he had just been taking a casual walk, we should have been able to hear him whining about how hungry he was. No, I agree, yeah. And despite that, it is really odd. It is actually really odd because he is a very stubborn man. The fact that he hasn't come to, you know, complain about his hunger. It is weird. he hadn't appeared. There was more than a small chance that he'd gotten caught up in this crime. I really wonder. That's weird. According to my aunts, on their way back from Kinzo's study, they'd searched for him, calling out on every floor, but were unable to find him. Considering the timing of it all, it was only reasonable to assume that this disappearance had something to do with the crime. Yeah. What if it doesn't, though, I wonder? We figured Dad and the rest were probably killed in the dining hall and then painstakingly moved to the storehouse. It just doesn't make sense how it's actually happened. Maybe. I don't know, but where has his body been hidden, though? It just doesn't make much sense. So maybe Grandfather has already been killed and dragged to some strange place, which we simply haven't discovered yet. Yeah, I wonder. No one actually said it out loud, but this theory seemed extremely terrifyingly so. Yeah, I really wonder. I mean, it's a massive, massive building, the Ushinomiya household, so... Well, the Ushinomiya mansion, more accurately speaking. Yeah, it does, yeah. We'll go check that all of the windows and doors are locked. Yeah. We must also conduct a thorough search. Oh yeah, definitely, yeah. The children must remain in this room. Eva-san and Hideyoshi-san. I'm sorry, but please stay here with the children. Oh, right. I'd like to ask you the same, Dr. Nanjo. I understand. I will wait here. Aunt Natsuki followed the servants, Genji-san, Kumasawa-san, and Kanon-kun, out of the parlor. Yeah! All that was left was Aunt Eva, Uncle Hideyoshi, and Dr. Nanjo, and the four of us children. A total of 7 people. Yeah, I wonder what's actually gonna happen. Yeah, let's all stick together and maybe watch some television while we wait. To be fair, I am actually quite surprised that they are able. They're not able to have phone lines, and yet they're able to have, you know, blimmin' television lines. It doesn't really make much sense. Uncle Hideyoshi started acting cheerfully, trying to brighten up this gloomy atmosphere. That's nice of him. He really is a nice person. Oh, good show. Watch it, watch it. Well, Maria's, despite having learnt her mum literally died, she isn't phased whatsoever. Oh, really? You want to watch TV, Maria-chan? Then come and watch it with your uncle. He seems like a really nice uncle. Maria was the only one who joined. Yeah, funny that, yeah. Even though Maria had been told of her mother's death. I know! Yeah! She didn't show the slightest flicker in her emotions. Was it really normal for a 9-year-old girl like Maria to act so much like a very young... I know! Everyone else's mood failed to improve, and they each sank absent-mindedly in their... Yeah, fair enough. Oh my god, you really can't read the room. Aniki. Can I ask you something? What is it? Just now in the storehouse. Oh yeah. You said something about Shannon-chan and a ring. Did you give that to her? Oh god, yeah, George Oniki didn't answer, but he hung his head and closed both of his... Yeah... There could be no clearer... Yeah, fair, yeah. Quit it, Battler. Yeah, figure it out yourself. Yeah... You're right.
悪いことを聞いたぜ。
Shouldn't have asked. Yeah, yeah.
そうさ。
That's right.
僕だよ。
It was me.
彼女に
Last night.
夕べ
Last night, I know! I proposed to her.
その時指輪を渡した。
That was when I gave her the ring.
明日になったら
Oh my god, I know, I told her that tomorrow.
それを好きな指にはめて
Yeah, she should put it on whatever finger she wants. The fact that she has actually done it.
返事としてくれ。
That's a hard answer. The fact that he only realises the answer and what she has actually done to, you know, in pursuit of having a relationship. The fact that he only realises it when, you know, she's totally died. In a brutal way, by the way. It's too cruel. It really is. God. Yeah, whatever she wanted.
キザったらしいことを言ってね。
Oh, I guess it was a pretty pretentious thing to say. No! And that ring had been... Yeah, on the ring finger of Shannon Chan's left hand. That's awful. Well...
数年前からシャドウに相談を受けてたぜ。
Oh my god, about the relationship! Well, several years ago, Shannon came to me asking for
ジ
advice.
ョージ兄さんのことでさ。
About you, George Nissan.
なんて言ってたのか。
Damn! I wonder what she could have said.
シャノンは嘘をつくのが下手だったからよ。
Oh, Shannon was always really bad at lying.
ジョージ兄さんのことを言ってるのはすぐにバレバレでさ。
It was obvious pretty quickly that you were the one she was talking about. Oh, that's kind of funny,
自
that.
分は
She asked whether it would be okay to get close
使
to
用
somebody.
人の身分だけど親しくしてもいいのだろうかとか。
Even though she was only a
男
servant.
の人の好きそうなものは何かとか。
Isn't it awful to think that she doesn't even know that? I mean, obviously she has had, you know, quite a lot of societal things in her own way, but, you know, the fact that she has to ask that, it really just shows the spectacularly unusual condition she's grown up in. She has not grown up in spectacular conditions, no way. But, yeah, even though she was only a servant, she asked about what kinds of things boys
どう
are.
いう服を着たら喜ぶかとか。
What kind of clothes she should wear to make them happy.
そんなことをいろいろとさ。
Lots of stuff like that.
なんつうの。
Oh, yeah, fair.
そのまあ焼けたぜ。
Well, I guess you could say I felt envious hearing her say, oh yeah, I suppose not, you know, Shannon may have somebody that she wants to impress, but doesn't really know how to, where she wants to impress somebody, but she doesn't really have anybody to impress. God, yeah, that is interesting that, you know, even for years, she has been, obviously she's a really bad liar, so as a result, you know, Jessica has known for years she's like George, and only now they actually began the relationship because obviously George felt the same, and you know he had the courage to ask. Shannon's really, really nice, don't get me wrong, but she doesn't have the courage to do stuff like that. No way. Yeah, just because she's a servant doesn't mean that she shouldn't get close to somebody. That's absurd. Yeah.
それが婚約指輪を渡されて
Yeah, so then she was given an engagement ring.
おしまいかよ。
My god, I know, that is the thing that is meant to start a relationship, not fucking end it. And it all ended right
価
there.
値観は人それぞれだけどよ。
Different people value things differently. Yeah.
男から求婚されるってのは
Oh my god, yeah, but being proposed to by a
人
man.
生の到達点なんだと思うんだよ。
No, I couldn't agree more, especially for somebody like Shannon. Yeah, well, it can be the high point of your life. So
だ
I'm
から
sure.
きっと昨夜のシャノンは
That's the most awful thing, though. She's happy, she's having such a nice time, and then she just dies the next day. Probably the happiest in her life. You know, she's finally been able to do something she's never been able to do before.
心の底から
from the bottom of her heart.
いや
Oh my god, I
生まれて
know.
から今までの中で一番幸せだったと思うぜ。
Everything she's ever been since the day of her birth. Oh my god, George hearing this must be so difficult. No, but I really get what she means. Yeah. Oh, she really must have been, especially because she didn't have the chance to ask. The fact that obviously she really, really wants to do the relationship, and George does as well. She's never had the courage to ask, but he has. So as a result, it's pretty obvious the relationship would happen, but yeah, now it's definitely not going to happen. No way. George Aniki's side deeply. Oh, without raising it. No, I don't blame him. Yeah, or maybe tears have risen into it. I wouldn't blame him anyway. It's too cruel. For somebody as nice as George as well. He never deserves something like that.
It's
so awful to see him cry like this. Yeah, it seems Shannon was on duty in the guest house last night. Yeah.
シャノンが僕と一緒にゲストハウスに帰るのを恥ずかしがっ
Oh
て
my god. Holy fuck. I hate how true that could have potentially been. Oh my god, but because she was too embarrassed to go to the guest
お
house
屋
with
敷
me.
に行ってしまった
She went over to the mansion.
シャノンの気持ちを察しろよ。
Yeah, but she would have never. I mean, it's just bad coincidence, but obviously he's going to blame himself for it because why wouldn't he? Yeah, think about how Shannon must have felt.
婚約指輪をもらえばどんなに予告されてたって普通は舞い上がっちまって、
Yeah.
頭は真っ白になっちまうぜ。
Yeah, think about how Shannon must have felt. When you receive an engagement ring, then no matter how much warning you've been given beforehand. Oh, yeah. It's perfectly normal to get so excited that your mind goes blank. Yeah, I suppose you get so excited and then your mind is just completely drained from all the excitement.
仕方なかった
Oh,
んだ
yeah.
ろうよ。
Yeah, she must have been incredibly embarrassed.
それでシャノンは
And then Shannon.
当番でないはずのお屋敷へ行き
Oh my god, I know. She hadn't been assigned there either. Yeah, just because she needed work. Well, I think it was because of Genji. It was Genji who had actually asked him to help with Gorda. And defy Krause's order. And then Shannon went to the mansion, even though she hadn't been assigned there.
そこでゴーダさんの仕事を手伝い
Help Gorda-san with his work.
事件に巻き込まれてし
Oh
まった
my god, I know. And got caught up in this crime.
僕が
If only I hadn't.
あの日
Oh my god, I know. If only Krause hadn't reversed the shifts. And it's actually really quite weird to think that, you know, Krause... Well, Shannon has basically died as a result of Krause reversing the shifts of the servants. So as a result, well, that was just done with the intent of making it so that none of the servants can listen and report back their findings to Kinzo. If only I hadn't given her a ring on that day. Oh my
指輪なん
god.
か渡さなければ
I know in that place.
シャノンは
Shannon wouldn't have.
サヨは
Oh, so I wouldn't
事
have
件に巻き込まれなかったんだ
been caught up in that crime. Oh,
兄貴
Aniki.
それだけは違うぜ
Oh, that's interesting. Oh, I really wonder what he's actually going to say here. That's the one place where you're wrong.
断じて違う
It's definitely wrong. By the way, I want to turn voices up.
酒は我が友だ
Weird way to preview the voice going on. Oh my god, that is just severe. It really is. God, of course he's going to blame himself as much as possible for this. Aniki, that's the one place where you're wrong. It's definitely wrong.
それ以上泣くんじゃね
So don't cry anymore. No, I don't blame him. Even though he's definitely wrong about the fact,
バトラー
you
君
know, he couldn't have helped it whatsoever. But at the same time, of course he's still going to feel horrible. I mean, why would he feel anything other than horrible emotions at the moment?
そっ
Bataraku.
としてあげなさい。
Yeah, let's leave him, but... Yeah, I mean, obviously Batella's trying the best he can, but yeah, it's probably better for him to grieve without anybody else seeing him. Yeah, after Aunt Eva said that, I stopped talking to him. Yeah, misplaced words of comfort. True, might actually do more harm than good. Yeah, I don't think that one there would have, but maybe. Jessica sat down next to Aniki and put an arm around. Yeah, nice one. Maybe only Jessica, who would known about Aniki and Shannon, was like, oh, yeah. No, because she was the one that had actually, you know, been asked the advice. And who would even discuss that relationship with Shannon. Could comfort Aniki now. Yeah, I went over to Aunt Eva and sat down in the opposite sofa.
バトラ君は強いわね。
Yeah, Batara-kun, you really are
も
strong.
うだいぶしっかりしているように見えるわよ。
That is actually really quite true. No, I really understand what, you know, she's saying, because, you know, he's literally lost both of his parents. And yet, you know, he's got such a kind heart that he can, you know, he could do something like that, and yet he can then comfort another person who may be suffering. Like, it's absurd. Like, how do you do it? Oh God, yeah.
まあそのほら愛の深さが傷の深さじゃないですか。
Well, look, the depth of the love becomes the depth of the wound, right?
俺は別にあんなクソ親父同志の方が知ったことじゃないし。
After all, it's not like how that old bastard died has anything to do with me.
キリエさんは気の毒ですが、まあ本当の親ってわけじゃないですしね。
Yeah, that is actually really quite tricky. So I really can't tell with his dad. I've never been able to tell whether Battler likes his dad or not. I mean, he likes him. They definitely have a joking relationship. They have a joking relationship, and I do think they have a loving relationship as well. But at the same time, I think they like each other and they can have fun with each other. But at the same time, there's a real element of hatred that Battler has for him. I feel bad about Kirie-san, but, well, she wasn't actually my parent. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, so I suppose it wouldn't be as bad if it was, you know, a parent, but his parent, but at the same time, like, it's still awful.
あら
My.
という割にはさっきすっごく大泣きしてたわよ。
But no, I agree with that. Maybe he's just trying to be really manly to Eva. I don't know. If that so, you were certainly crying a lot back then. Yeah.
まあ育ての親に対する恩はあのくらい泣けば OK かと思いまして。
Yeah, well, I did think at least that much crying was due as gratitude to the parent who rang. I think what he did, he really cried it out. But now he's just acting as if it's totally normal. God, how? I think that really shows there was something that Rudolph has done. As Ambassador's words, a crook. Yeah, I wonder. Hmm.
そのあたりの切り替えの速さやドライなあたりは本当にルドルフ譲りね。
Interesting. The speed of that changeover and that dry tone must have come from Rudolph.
あの子は昔から激しく喜んだり悲しんだり怒ったりしたけれど、
That kid would always get violently happy, sad, and angry.
すぐにケロリと平静を取り戻したわ。
That's actually really quite surprising. That's interesting. I noticed a lot of habits that are from... It's actually really quite interesting just hearing some of the habits that, you know, have obviously been... Like, for example, you know, whenever Kraus, for example, says... Ho... like, H-O-H, it's spelled. He got that from his dad, for example. It's quite an interesting one that I found yesterday. I just genuinely don't understand how Battler has so quickly accepted it. Like, seriously. He's moving on too quickly. But I suppose he's... Yeah. Total extreme emotions and then immediately gaining his cool.
そんなことはないっすよ。
It's nothing like that.
俺だってまだまだ心のショックから立ち直れちゃいません。
Yeah, maybe this is just Battler's method of, you know, trying to get over stressful situations like this. Just talking it out and, you know, making light of it. Yeah, I haven't really been able to get over the shock yet.
ただ俺がみんなと違うのはそれによってどういう感情が生み出されるかってことだと思います。
Yeah, fair. To be honest, I think a lot of the other people they have a lot more reason to be sad. I don't know what's happened with him as his dad, but yeah, he doesn't really have much reason to be sad about him, and Kirie wasn't really a parent. But still, I think, you know, as he said, like, you know, he always thought as Kirie's like a cool big sister, like, to lose somebody like that, I would have thought that, you know, he would have had a lot more loss. And even though he didn't really like his dad much, I would have thought he'd still be really, really sad. But it's surprising. It's surprising how quickly he can change, how easily he can get back up. It really is. What do you mean? I've been acting much calmer than George, Aniki, and just... Yes, definitely, yeah. That wasn't because my sadness was any less intense, or because I'd already recovered. Yeah, my sadness was simply getting replaced gradually with a different emotion. Revenge, maybe, rather than sad. I'm saying I'm more pissed off. Fair. Fair enough. What bastard did this and where? So that does actually explain it. His sadness and all of his grief has been replaced with anger. But he's still able to control it, that's good. It's kind of been eating at me that I didn't get a chance to smack him outside the face. Yeah, oh my god. Jesus Christ. That was what I really wanted to do. I couldn't forgive myself if I just sat there, overwhelmed with sadness and hugging my knees. Since the time Dad and the others were killed, this island has been covered by the typhoon. Oh my god, definitely, yeah, which means the bastard was responsible for this. Yeah, he's still somewhere on this island. Exactly, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I really wonder. Yes, that would seem to be the case. Yeah, no, I understand what she means. That is a perfect place to hide. I wonder if they're hiding somewhere in the dark forest even now. I felt like I'd had... Interesting. Yes, fair. A very similar conversation with Kirie-san the night before. Right, please remember what your dad said and why they departed. That's right. After the letter from the person claiming to be Beatrice appeared at the dinner table last night. Yeah, we talked about whether or not a 19th person actually exists. Yeah. Aunt Eva. Do you think this murder? Oh yeah. Yeah. Do you think this matter has anything to do with the letter from Beatrice last night? Oh, that one. Well, I wonder. Fair. All of the siblings agreed that this mysterious letter was sent to further complicate the problems of the father's inheritance. Yeah, fair enough, because whoever hasn't solved the riddle won't be entitled to the inheritance. As to whether that and the case this morning are related, it's impossible to tell at this stage. Yeah. By the way, it's actually really quite interesting how unfazed Eva is. To be honest, I kind of get the impression that she firstly didn't like her siblings, and secondly, she didn't really care about them much. I mean, how can you see every single sibling you have die and not really, you know, be as rational as she is here? I just kind of get the impression that she doesn't care. But Battler's more the type that's angry and more he wants to find out the truth to what's actually happened than grieving, which is really quite surprising. But I suppose him wanting to find out the truth is motivated by the grief. But still, it's just quite surprising how fast he's got over it. Same for Maria. I mean, my god, let's not even go into her. Yeah, a little bit different there. Weird as well.
あの手紙本当にベアトリーチェなんて魔女が
Yeah, I
マリア
wonder
に
what her
渡したん
theories
すか
are.
ね
Was that letter really given to Maria by some sort of witch called Beatrice?
まさか
How could it be?
全部お父様の仕組んだ茶番でしょ
Oh, that is interesting. She has very similar views to Natsuhi. All of it was a farce devised by father, wasn't it?
シャノンちゃんあたりに肖像画のドレスを着させてマリアちゃんを騙したんでしょ
He made Shano-chan or somebody wear the dress with the portrait and trick Maria-chan, right?
お父様らしい手の込みすぎたいたずらだと思うけど
Well, I don't really think that following up with 6 murders and potentially even more is a prank. Isn't that just the kind of overly intricate prank that father would pull?
ゆうべキリエさんとベアトリーチェは実在するんだろうかって話をしたんですけど
Last night I talked with Kirie-san about whether
キリエさん
Beatrice
も
actually exists.
俺たち18人の中にベアトリーチェがいるだろうと
Yeah,
言って
and
ましたね
Kirie-san also said that Beatrice is probably one of the 18
そ
of us.
んなの当然じゃない
Isn't that obvious?
この島には私たちしかいないのよ
To be fair, there could be other people, but at the same time, it is actually quite odd that. Well, maybe it's somebody native to the island, or maybe it's somebody that's. I don't know. How could it be possible to be native on this island and yet not be spotted once? I don't really think that's likely, but also, I don't really think it's going to be easy. To be fair, if all the servants and all the people in Rokkenjima, in the Ushinomiya mansion are in the mansion itself, then it probably would be quite easy to, pitch up to the island and then just run, find somewhere to conceal yourself, and then go, yeah. Interesting soundtrack, this. I do find it quite interesting that these people don't really... I mean, Eva just has a definitive... inclusion? Sorry, conclusion. Hmm.
なら私たちの中の誰かがベアトリーチェを語ったに決まってるじゃない
Yeah, I really wanted them. There must be somebody among
こ
us
の
who's
島には
pretending to
俺
be
たち以
Beatrice.
外はいない
There's no one else but us on this island. Yeah, you think?
当
Who
然
would
で
it
し
be?
ょ
Obviously.
私たち以外の誰がここにいるっていうの
They're saying there could be someone else here other than us.
この島には私たちしかいない
It's interesting how objective she sounds by this, but yeah, she sounds when saying this, but yeah, nobody is on this island
18
except
人
us.
しかいない
There were only 18
な
people.
らベアトリーチェを語るのも18人の中の誰かしかいないじゃない
So the one pretending to be Beatrice has to be one of those 18. Interesting. Kiria-san denied the existence of the 19th person by spinning the chessboard around. Even though Aunt Eva hadn't constructed an argument that was complicated, yeah, her opinion was at least the same. Yeah, all of the adults think it's just a farce devised by father. All of them do. Well, not father, but the grandfather. Yeah. Except if that was the case, our situation starts to look... Oh, I know, because the more people that die, the less suspects there are. At the time of Beatrice's letter, the whole thing could be passed off as a prank set up by someone or another. Yeah, before the murders! However, if we're assuming that there's no 19th person, we can ignore this We can't ignore this Agreed, yeah. In other words...
19人目がいないなら
If there was no 19th person...
親父たちを殺した犯人も18人の中にいるってことになっちまうじゃないですか
To be fair, they could have suicided, but... I'm sorry, but how the fuck... I should put some perspective into this. How the fuck do you suicide if you mutilate your corpse before... If you mutilate yourself before you do it? Like, I'm not talking about mutilation as in, I don't know, like, cutting yourself. I'm talking about, entirely you know, ripping, bashing, completely destroying a half of your face, or maybe even your entire face. Yeah, I don't think it's likely to be a suicide just because of that. Who would want to tolerate the pain? To be fair, people do have very big drives. Some of them really, really do. Well, you don't really have to have a Takano level will to do stuff like that, but still. Talking about Takano with this woman in the room. It's just quite funny, that. Because I think that person is a little bit similar to Takano. I wonder what a connection is. I love that this voice actress played like 2 really, really significant parts in 2 really significant, like, when they cried visual novels. Yes, definitely. Yeah.
つまり今この屋敷にいる誰かが殺したってことになる。
Yeah. So in other words, the person who killed them is one of these people inside this very mansion right now. I know. Aunt Eva smiled meaningfully. It looked like she thought this conclusion should have been obvious from the very beginning.
犯人は倉庫の中に6人の遺体を運び込んだわ。
The culprit carried the bodies of those 6 into the storehouse. Yeah, how though, I wonder?
よく倉庫の中に運び込めたわよね。
Agreed. Yeah, but even that
あ
wasn't
のシャッターは
impressive.
常
Don't
に
you think?
閉められていて施錠されていたそうよ。
Yeah, how did they steal the key and then put it
つ
back?
まり倉庫内に運び込むにはシャッターの施錠を開ける必要があった。
Yeah. In other words, in order to carry them into the storehouse, the culprit would need to unlock the
わ
shutter.
かる？
Understand? Yeah.
たまたまその日シャッターが開けっぱなしになってた可能性は？
I don't think that's likely though. Is it possible the shutter was left open by mistake that day?
使用人たちは常に閉めていると言ってたわ。
Yeah, it's a little bit tricky. Still, could be an oversight. Well, not an oversight, but like it's a bit of rebellion by a servant. I don't know. The servant said it was always kept locked.
つまり鍵を使用人室から持ち出さなくては倉庫は絶対に開けられない。
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. In other words, unless the culprit took the keys from the servant room, there's no way they could have opened up the storehouse. I really do wonder how this is actually going to end up. The weirder this mystery gets, the more you want to drift to the conclusion that Beatrice is the one that has done this, and there is no possible human explanation, because these things, they could potentially be explained by humanity, but at the same time they just seem so mysterious and nuts and so out of proportion, really, that maybe they could be. I don't know though, it's very unlikely. Yeah, makes sense.
鍵は使用人室の一つしかないんすかね。
I wonder if the key in the seventh room was the only one. Maybe, that's a good point.
源氏さんはそうだと言ってるわ。
Yeah, maybe not then. Genji-san said that was the
という
case.
ことは犯人はそのたった一つの倉庫の鍵のありかを知っていて
You
持ち
could
出
go
し
to a servant, that would be the most likely means, but Kanon? Why would he kill Shannon? Gorda? That theory about the suicide, why would he do it? Genji, how? In other words, the place. To be fair though, Genji dying would actually explain the disappearance of the father, because he is the only person who actually has the key that's permitted to go into his room. But where would somebody as old as Genji... to be fair, Genji's probably old, but he's probably very muscular and strong. That's what I'd assume, I don't know. He just kind of looks like that type of guy that would be. Just now, I watched when Kanon Kyun returned to the key.
壁
To
に
the
びっ
servant
しり
room.
と鍵がかけられていて、とても素人にはどこに何がかけてあるのかわからなかった。
That's very, very true. Now that I think it could potentially be a servant because of that then. Maybe Goda could be more likely. It's either God or Genji. There is no way it's Shannon or Kanon. Or maybe it is. Maybe there's just something we really don't know about these people. I don't know. The wall was packed with keys, and I don't think a novice would know where or what those keys went to. Yeah. Yeah, fair enough actually. Somebody that really intimately knew the area. The couple was miraculously able to find the storehouse key among all of others. Yeah! Furthermore, even though the key didn't have a tag or anything sticking to it, yeah, they knew it was the key to the storehouse behind the rose garden. True. Yeah, that is a really good point, actually. Yeah, how could you know? How? Yeah. Exactly, yeah. Yeah, and that also means they knew where the storehouse was. I say it even clearer. The culprit knew the inside of the servant room well. Yeah. I really wonder. She got very, very good and agreeable claims. Yeah, I think it could be likely. I think out of everything is if it's a human culprit, it's a servant, definitely. They're the most likely. But who though? Her argument was extremely plain and clear. Oh yeah, definitely very objective as well. If the bodies had been found thrown somewhere in the bushes of the rose garden, yeah, there wouldn't have been much to go. Oh yeah, true actually. Why is it a closed door mystery? Totally. Yeah. However, if there was only one key to the storehouse in the servant room, and it was stored with such a large group of keys, a novice would not be able to tell them apart. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. This meant the culprit was someone... Yeah, definitely, yeah. This meant the culprit was somebody who went to the servant room a lot and was familiar with the locations of the key. Yes, the family members didn't normally go into the servant room. Which meant that... one of the servants is... Yeah, the culprit! Nobody knows. Who could it be? That's the question. I'm sorry, but even I can't tell you any more of that. However, I'll tell you one thing. Oh, what's that? Interesting. It's reasonable to think that the culprit... No, culprit. Yeah, it's interesting to think she thinks maybe more than one could be in on this. Yeah, it's reasonable to think that the culprit... No, culprits are multiple in number and fairly well. Yeah. Oh yeah, fair enough. If you murdered 6 people... Yeah. They had to assault the 4 in the dining hall and kill them. Drag a total of 6 bodies all the way to the storehouse beyond the rose garden. Yeah, and arrange for that disgusting makeup and graffiti on the shutter. That's a very good point, yeah. But at the same time, that also eliminates the possibility of it just being a servant. Maybe they could actually be in cahoots. Well, no, I don't think that's very true because, you know, there's people at the dining hall and then there's, you know, the 4 kids. We know the 4 kids have done nothing. So I don't think anyone can be in cahoots with a servant. But the thing is, if we didn't know of the family's whereabouts, I'd maybe suspect one of them because maybe they could be there and then they could be... I don't know, like the storehouse, for example, and the servant could be getting the keys, and then they could do the dirty work. But I don't know. It just doesn't. It doesn't add up whatsoever. It's completely ridiculous to think that. Yeah. It made sense. I agree. It probably would have been possible for a single person with enough time, but it would take so incredibly... Agreed, yeah. It's not worth it because you get caught instantly. Well, not instantly, sorry, easily. it was probably safe to assume that a significant number of people were... I know! Who, though? Weird. Who?
ってことは、
So what you're saying...
使用人の人たちがみんなグルだろう
I
って言うんですか
know. Is that maybe all the servants were in cahoots?
静かになさいな。
God, I mean, how could Shannon, firstly, and secondly, Kanon? I don't understand how they could be. Yeah, please keep it quiet,
憶
okay?
測で言っちゃ悪いわよ。
Oh my god, yeah, fair. It wouldn't be right to voice mere speculation like this. Yeah.
それにもし本当にそうだったらどうする？
Yeah, and if it really is true, what would you... That's a good
彼
point,
らは
yeah.
私たちを生かして返さないでしょうね。
I suppose the best thing they could do is prepare themselves. And prepare roots for fucking running! Too. They might not let us leave here alive. True.
兄さんたち4人をやすやすと殺した相手なのよ。
Yeah, I mean, Kraus, Rudolph, they don't exactly look like weak men. Yeah, this is an opponent who had no trouble killing Nissan and the 3 other... Yeah.
今この部屋に残っていてまともに戦えそうな人間はうちの家族の3人にせいぜいバトラ君で4人ってとこ。
Yeah, right now, the only ones I can count on to fight with me are the 3 of my... the 3 of my family, and maybe you. Which comes to a total of 4 people, right? Fair, actually. Oh yeah, she would actually be able to fight because she's a goat at
状
martial
況
arts.
は昨晩と何も変わらない。
Yeah, we're no better off than they were last. Yeah, fair.
つまり犯人にとって残る私たちを皆殺しにするなんて簡単なことなのよ。
Sure, it would be easier for the culprits to massacre the rest of us. Yeah, I've been playing detective with Aunt Eva, trying to expose the person who had killed Dad and the rest before the police. Yeah, but it isn't that simple. Maybe they might have been able to narrow it down and find a potential suspect list. I don't know though, it's kind of hard to tell. Yeah. If only I could cleverly penetrate the culprit's identity and stick proof in there for... Oh my god, I know. I've been so sure that, just like in one of those detective movies, the culprit would then give up and surrender. It's actually really quite interesting, yeah. However, the culprit would only surrender if there was no way for them to fight. Agreed. Yeah, but how are they going to make it so that that's the case? Yeah. The culprits behind the crime on this island were far from help. Yes. And might even be able to massacre all the remaining people here. Yeah, it's not even something that, you know, you should doubt. And on top of that, this island was like a giant closed room, cut off from the outside world by the time. Oh yeah, definitely, there's no one to help. So they had a full day until tomorrow to kill, scheme, and camouflage. Agreed, yeah. And move the bodies as well, that's an important one. Sure, it wasn't a safe atmosphere where we could get very far by playing with detective. Oh yeah, fair enough, because there might be fucking killed. And if it's the 4 servants and if it's the 2 servants, sorry, now 2 servants in cahoots, then yeah, that's not very good whatsoever. To the contrary, we were at a stage where we had to be scared. Yeah, since playing detective might displease the culprits. and cause them to commit another mass murder. Oh, that's actually really quite interesting. So, yeah, mass murder so that they don't get exposed. Fair.
あくまでも可能性の問題よ。
Well, it is just a possibility,
でも
right?
私は使用人の人たちをまだ信用できない。
Yeah, that's fair. All the evidence points to them. But I can't bring myself to trust the servants yet.
それに私は使用人だけを疑ってるわけじゃないわ。
That doesn't mean I only suspect
さ
them.
らに黒幕がいるかもしれないと思ってるわよ。
That is interesting. Keenson, maybe? That's what you would have thought, but at the same time he's disappeared. Doesn't really make much sense, that. Don't you think there might be some mastermind behind all this?
黒幕？
A mastermind?
どうしてですか？
Why do you say that?
勘よ。
Yeah, interesting. It's
使
just a
用
feeling.
人は書いて字のごとし。
Oh my god. Yeah, fair enough, actually. Yeah. Think about what the word servant literally
誰か
means.
に使用されて手足となる存在。
Oh, that is interesting. It means someone who serves us someone else's arms and legs, right? Yeah, so whose arms and legs are they actually serving for?
家の親族ばかり。
There was a bunch of Usidamiya family members who got killed.
その結果で利害が発生する人間が関わるのは当然。
Yes, yes, I really want. Who would though? That's the weirdest thing. I just genuinely don't understand who would gain anything. I would have thought maybe Kraus, but yeah, he's kind of like dead. I mean, she would, to be fair, in terms of inheritance. Like, she is probably going to objectively get. No, she won't because of Beatrice. I forgot about that. But if they find a way to disprove Beatrice's letter, then yeah. And maybe falsify it, then yeah, she's getting the inheritance basically. Yeah. Yeah, this is also plain and clear. Yeah, the Uchinomiya family have been right in the middle of the discussions about how to distribute the inheritance with grandfather. But yeah, surrounding Emoto because of inheritance. If this case followed the standard form of any classic mystery novel, yeah, the crime was definitely caused by somebody with ties to the Uchinomiya family and who was involved in the inheritance. Yeah, no, I know. Aunt Eva had probably read a few books in that genre herself. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah, maybe. It's a logical conclusion though. Her argument may have had a few blind assumptions in it. Fair, actually, yeah, but it was a standard conclusion that anybody might have read. Yeah, I think most people would end up suspecting the servants, even if they use different reasoning to get. Yeah, understandable. Yeah, it doesn't look very good on them whatsoever, especially the story about the key to the shutter. Yes, that made it very easy to suspect that one of the servants was involved. Yeah, and that's why.
だから。
Eva kind of does like sound like the type of person to read mystery books. I don't know. Interesting. I don't like it.
気に入らないって？
Yeah, what do you mean you don't like it? Very ambiguous, yeah.
あ、いやいや、こっちの話っす。
Nah, just talking to myself. Oh. I tried to dodge a question by joking, but I couldn't erase the sense of unease welling up and... Interesting, that. Yeah. After all, her conclusion was such an easy one to... Yeah, so could there... Because it's a really, really easy conclusion that just totally points to the servants, could it be someone else? Yeah, a conclusion that anyone could reach. And I just couldn't be satisfied. Yeah, if I tried spinning the chessboard around, like I learned from Kirie-san. Exactly. Yeah, oh, that's really interesting. So even though all the evidence entirely points to the servant, he's willing to say that there isn't a servant as a culprit. This was exactly why a servant was supposed to be the culprit. If the servants really were the culprits, they wouldn't hide the bodies in a place connected. Agreed. Fully agreed. Why on earth would they use the Rose Garden shed if they were the ones in charge of the key and that could unlock it? Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, the police would probably immediately pursue whoever had been in control of that key. It was even possible that some other facts might come to light as a result. True, yeah. The more we think of the servants as the culprits, the less reason they had to carry the bodies into the storehouse. Yeah. Why would they do it there? Why would they not do it in, for example, the forest? A place that, you know, doesn't scream, I need a key to open this. Yeah, it is odd that. It really is. And, if it's not logical to be the servants, though, who is it? Because it's not logical to be any one of them. That is, we think. Maybe somebody has used a massive diversion. Maybe even Eva could be. Maybe she's deceiving them. I mean, to be fair, because of how devilish Eva's personality would be, it wouldn't surprise me. But what, am I just saying because somebody has a, you know, arsehole personality to the people she doesn't like, she's a murderer now? Like, come on, that's ridiculous. I can't tell if this drink tastes really nice or fucking awful. I don't know. Well, I finished it now, but still. Yeah, definitely, yeah. But what if they knew we'd think that and put the corpses in the storehouse without very... Exactly, it's tricky to think. No, it's completely impossible. Very irresponsible as well, even if they... When the police come and inspect the scene of the crime, they'll probably be able to uncover many things. No matter how carefully the culprits carried out that murder, some traces will definitely be found. Oh yeah. In other words, they had everything to lose and nothing to... Yeah. If you think about it this way and look at the murder game from the culprit's side... Yeah, it's hard to imagine why they'd want to call attention to the culprit. Exactly, yeah. And why would they do it so that it really leads to them as well? Once the corpses were found, it could result in somebody sending a report to the police. Yes, definitely, yeah. Or it might make the remaining people more cautious. Or it might make the survivors start to search for the culprit. Yeah, exactly, yeah. None of these things would make any life easier for the culprit. Yeah. Exactly, yeah. It's just like the words of the main character's mother in a novel I recently... What? Out of everything you could have said... What? Well, this is not a connection I thought I would be seeing. This is going to be interesting. Higurashi does have a novel. Every story needs to have a beginning, a middle, and an end. Eliminating that beginning is essential for the perfect crime. Yeah. Right now, we don't know where grandfather is. We don't know. Wait, so... Oh, that is interesting. Is it Tatari Goroshi, the perfect murder scene? It's gotta be. I don't know. God, he must have found Tatari Goroshi a hard read. By the way, Battler travelling in time, what the fuck? 1986, reading Higurashi. Higurashi came out in like 2000, 2001, I think, for the first installments of the series, I mean. Yeah, yes, definitely, yeah. You can't have a crime if you don't have the beginning. If nobody knows how it actually started, then yeah. We don't know, right now, we don't know where grandfather is. We don't know if he's already become a victim or if he's one of the culprits. Yes, exactly, yeah, but this state of confusion must be beneficial to the killer. Fair. Oh, yeah, now that is a weird part. It really contradicts the fact that the culprit has absolutely nothing to gain by showing us the bodies in such an obvious way. Yeah. And making us all realise that there's been a murder. In fact, this is the perfect place to spin the chessboard around. Yeah, in other words, showing us the corpses in such a flashy way must have been the culprit's goal in on and off of itself. Yeah, maybe it's just, maybe they don't really care about this. Maybe it's just total psychopathic emotional desire, really. Who knows? So, at the very least, the culprit. The appearance of 6 corpses there meant more than the deaths themselves. That is interesting. That could be a total threat then. Total threat. In other words, the culprit wanted this murder on display. Yeah, to whom? Yeah, to us. This is a message. The culprit's trying to shove something in our faces. Don't know what it is. Yeah, I really do. And let's just hope it's not whatever was used to kill these people. What was this? It wasn't actually mentioned what was used to kill them. Yeah, makes sense. At this point in time, this vulgar mass murder isn't making me feel with anything except a malice directed to all of us. Fair malice towards all of us. Is it? I really wonder. I mean, why though? Why? There we are. There is a question that we can't answer. Oh yeah, definitely, yeah. Each one of the survivors had some kind of connection to one of the 6 victims. Uncle Krause's death brought Jessica to the brink of losing her family member. The deaths of Dad and Kirie-san brought me sorrow. While Aunt Rosa's death did it brought Maria sorrow. Gorda's death probably shocked his fellow, so yeah, definitely, yeah. And Shannon-chan's death, oh my god, yeah, brought grief both to George and Yuki, who had proposed to her, and Kanon-kun, who had loved her like an older sister. Yeah. Everyone now on this island had received an equal amount of sadness. Aunt Eva was sure that the servants were in cahoots. But then, how could you explain the deaths of Gorda-san and Santon-chan? Agreed. Yeah, I couldn't agree more. But maybe they've done that to make it so that it's less apparent that they're in cahoots, though. That's the thing. Yeah, definitely. At any rate, by this argument, the grief caused by this 6 deaths hit. It is interesting, that I agree. Everyone but Aunt Eva and Uncle Hideyoshi, even Aunt Eva, who had directed suspicion of the servants and acted as though she herself was beyond suspicion. Yes, exactly! Yeah, could not be ruled out as a suspect. Yep. And it would make total sense. In the first place, she was able to argue that the servants were suspicious by focusing on the shutter's key. But if you look at it from a perspective of motive and who would get... Yeah, Aunt Eva's name rises to the top of the list. That is fucking tricky. Yeah.
バトラ君が何を考えてるかおばさんわかるわよ。
Oh, now she's probably just gonna totally disprove it. Or at least I hope so. like this song. It's actually really quite catchy. I know what you're thinking, Batoraku.
What?
Huh? Oh no.
嫌だな
Now he's gonna have to
まあ
admit
一緒にして
it.
てくださいよ
Please don't tell anybody.
あんなことやこんなことで頭をいっぱいにしてたなんて
I'm head so full of obscene stuff.
私がこの殺人で一番得をする
How does she know that? I mean, obviously it was a guess, but yeah, I'm the one who's gonna gain most from these murders.
どうせ疑われるだろうから先に自己申告しておくわ
Yeah, since I'm gonna be suspected anyway, I might as well get it out in the open. Yeah, definitely. It didn't work whatsoever. I tried to dodge the issue by joking around, but apparently it didn't work.
遺産は兄弟の数で分割する
Yeah, so she's in theory gonna get every single last bit of it. The inheritance will be divided into as many parts as there are
でも
siblings.
今や4兄弟は私一人
Yeah, but right now I'm the only one of the four
後ろ
left.
宮家の全財産は全て私のものになるの
That's very aspirational. Are you gonna be alive to have them though? Who knows? All of the assets of the Ushidomiya family will become mine.
「秀吉おじさんが聞いたら予算か言えばシャレにならん」っていうところっすね
If Uncle Hideyoshi heard you, he'd say, "Could you give it a rest? It's not funny."
ごめんね
Yeah, fair. I'm sorry.
どう取り繕ったってどうせ疑われるだろうから
Yeah,
ふざ
fair.
けただけよ
Yeah, I was just fooling around since I'm going to be suspected anyway, no matter how much I try to smooth it over.
だからこの殺人は私の立場から見れば私を疑わせるためのものではないかと思ってるの
That's why, from my point of view, this murder might have been designed to cast suspicion on
困っ
me.
たことに昨べのアリバイは弱いわ
Oh, unfortunately, my alibi for last week is
聞かせてもらってもいいっすか
Could you tell me a bit more
昨べのことを
about last night? Oh,
バトラ君たちも知っている通り兄弟が遺産をどう食いちぎり合うか
Yep,
という
someone doesn't
話し
surprise
合い
me.
は深夜まで続いたわ
as you know, the discussion between the siblings of how to slice up and eat the inheritance continued until late in
で
the
も
night.
何時まで続いたかは知らない
I don't know how late it was. Oh yeah,
私
that's
と主
actually
人
quite
は
tricky.
朝が早かったからね
My husband and I had woken up early that morning, so did
も
not
う
see you.
眠くて眠くて24時を過ぎたあたりで抜けさせてもらったの
Oh yeah, we were so sleepy, and a little past midnight, they let us go. Oh.
「そしてゲストハウスに戻って休んだわ
We then returned to the guest house and rested there. Yeah, fair.
それを秀吉おじさん以外の誰かに
Yes,
証明できるっすか
Can anyone other than Uncle Hideyoshi
いやい
prove
や
that?
別にエヴァおばさんを疑ってるわけじゃないっすよ
Oh god, yeah, it definitely sounds like that. Well, yeah. He's got to get his facts straight, to be fair. No, wait, it's not like I suspect you or anything, okay?
あらどうだか
Yeah, you sure about that?
証明になるかわからないけれどゲストハウスに戻ってきた時
Why
ゲ
isn't
ンジ
she
さんに出
mentioning
迎えを
Natsuki?
受けてタオルはいるかと聞かれたわ
I don't know if it counts as proof, but when we returned to the guest house, we were greeted by Genji-san. Yeah, who asked if we needed it out. Yeah.
だから私たちがゲストハウスに戻ってきた時間は24時過ぎだと証明してくれると思うわよ
I think that should be enough to prove that we returned to the guest house a little after
もっ
midnight.
とも私の仮説通り使用人たちもグルなのだとしたらこんなのアリバイにならないけどね
Though, if my theory was correct, the servants would all be in cahoots, and that wouldn't actually make much of an alibi. Yeah,
確かにそうっす
fair.
ね
Hey, you've got a point
って
there.
ことは俺今真犯人と推理ごっこをしてるってことになるんすか
Oh god. Yeah. I love his laugh.
でも私の名誉のために言わせてもらうけど、遺産目当
Oh
てだ
my
った
god,
なら
definitely.
こんな変な殺人はしないわよ。
Why would you risk it so badly? However, let me say this for my honour's sake. If I was after the inheritance, I'd never commit such a bizarre set of murder. Yeah, exactly.
だ
Yeah.
って遺産相続権を喪失させるだけならどんな死に方だって構わない。
Fair. After all, if I just wanted to make them fulfill their rights to the inheritance, it wouldn't matter how much to me how they died.
むしろ自己死に見せかけた方がスマートでしょ。
Yeah, fair. It'd be much smarter for me to try and make their deaths look like accidents.
使
Yeah,
用
these are
人た
so
ちを抱き
obviously
込んで周
murdered.
到に計画していたならなおさらそうするでしょうよ。
Especially if you're assuming I laid out some careful plan that involved even the servants. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I don't disagree.
You've
got a point there. Yeah,
営利
definitely,
で
yeah.
人を殺すなら、それは
Oh,
常に
yeah.
殺人に見せるべきではない。
Yeah, if you're killing somebody for personal gain, you definitely shouldn't make it look like murder.
そういうこ
Yeah,
と
why would she murder if she wants to gain something from this that isn't, you know, a visit to prison?
だからおばさんは今からとてもブルーな気持ちなわけ。
That's why I'm in such a blue mood.
警察には黒幕扱いされて
Oh,
散々
God,
調べられるでしょうね。
The police will probably treat me like the mastermind and investigate all kinds of things.
やだやだ。
Oh no, does she have a lot of scandals, I wonder? Aunt Eva shrugged with a bitter smile. It was just as easy to suspect that Aunt Eva as it was to suspect the star. Exactly, yeah. So if we spin the chessboard around. Yeah, I think so, honestly. I think because of what's been said, I don't really think it's likely. Does that make it impossible for the culprit to be her, as suspicious as she is? However, if that sort of argument always works, then motive can never help us in any way. Yeah. Fair, actually, yeah. You always have to look at the motive, I suppose. No, that can't be right. Knowing the motive must give us powerful clues towards knowing the I agree, yeah. That's why murderers from all time periods disguise crimes in complicated ways. Oh yeah, cleverly preventing their motives from being discovered. I don't get it. I just don't get it. Fair. Every time I spin the chessboard around, it just keeps flipping from front to back and back to front. Yeah, because it just prompts you with more and more questions. Yeah, my thoughts bringing me closer to the truth. I really wonder, or are they, or maybe he's just completely getting lost on a tangent. It's really hard to tell. Wonder what he's thinking at the moment. Oh yeah, fair, yeah. Aunt Eva didn't want to talk any more than that, so I folded my arms and headed to the window to cool my head a little. Yeah, fair. Right, I'm gonna go to bed now. Yeah, oh my god, look at all the people that have died. Yeah. Disappeared from his study unnoticed. Actual video gamer. I'm surprised he doesn't have loads of consoles in there. God damn. Oh, that's interesting. Maybe that could be what consoles actually do. Oh god, that really adds some complications to this. Yeah, but that doesn't make sense now. That contradicts anything that made sense. Oh, this is really interesting. Oh my god. I really wonder how this is actually going to develop. I think I'm probably going to dwell on it. I'm probably going to, you know, using everything we've actually learned today, I'm probably just going to think about that, for example. I don't know, tomorrow when I'm at school. Yeah, it'll be really quite interesting. I just genuinely wonder what's actually going to happen. And I wonder how all of these really, really irregular mysteries, i.e., you know, who the murderer actually is. Because no matter what you look at with this case, if you look at the servants, there are tons of flaws and tons of things that will make you question, like, why would they do that? Just because of the exposure they may get for the crime. And then you have the, you know, Eva, obviously, you know, she wants the inheritance. She won't. Why is she making it so that she would so obviously be caught? Because she would be the first person to be set on for motive. And then, yeah, there's also, like, just in general, the disappearance, and also the blood. The blood will never add up, and also the exposure as well. It's as if, you know, they deliberately wanted it to be exposed. It was as if it's a show. Yeah, let's see these murdered bodies. What a nice show. Well, this is not the dark web. This is Umineko. By the way, that's just something, that's just assumption. I hope nothing like that actually goes on in the dark web, but it's the dark web, I wouldn't be surprised. But anyway, yeah, this is not some sort of weird dark web shit. This is Umineko. It just doesn't really make, this is not Genjima. It just doesn't make sense. It really, really doesn't. So I'm going to be very interested to find out what's actually going to happen here. And yeah, suppose see you guys tomorrow. Hopefully I'll have more time to read. I'll try and get everything done sooner if I can. If I can. Emphasis on that. But yeah, see ya.